Noah, if you can hear me, how's the volume? For anybody out there in YouTube land that's watching this intro screen, Hype sounds good. Beautiful. I will be right there. Alrighty. Welcome everyone. Welcome. You're gonna stare at my nose for 2 seconds. However, I just want to make sure that everything is working the way it should. I don't have chat on screen. Why is this not working? Show platform icons. Interesting. Noah, you've put chat on screen before, right? This area right here is supposed to have my chat, and it's not showing. I assume it's just a setting that I have wrong, but might have to figure that out sometime. I just use the built-in widget for chat box, and that might be just for Twitch, or oh no, it's working. Okay, beautiful. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was gonna work or not, but I see it is. So, holla freaking luya. So, all right, it's just oh, you know what? It's wiping the stuff. So we'll just do this and see. We'll just get the hide delay at like 200. Maybe that'll work. Okay, so welcome everyone to. I don't really know what this is gonna be. I wanted to do something a little bit different than just like the normal. Make a draft review video, sit there for half an hour, talk to my computer, say cool things about my team, and then that seemed like a lot of effort, and to where I thought, hey, why don't I just stream, look at everybody's team, we all get to hang out, and then we'll do it like that. So that's the plan for tonight. We're just gonna chill. We're going to hang out, and we're going to look at teams, maybe do a little prediction stuff, maybe flame some people, who knows. I got Gus passed out on the couch next to me, so life is good. Bryce, Ark, anybody else in chat land, welcome. Let's just dive in. I think cool thing to do for starters will be to go through the season 11 changes, talk about what I'm excited about, and just kind of talk about the format a little bit. So the cool thing for season 11, by the way, big shout outs to Ark for putting together a hell of a Google Doc. If you're a player in season 11, or even like a fan and want to check this thing out, it is really, really cool. Lots of great information, and this is like the Bible for APDL action. So Bryce is hyped for this season. I am as well. It is going to be insane. Okay, so for season 11, if we just kick off with the format here, it is 6v6, and back to some of the most broken stuff I've ever seen in my life. Noah says, please use it. I spent a lot of time on it. LOL. Yes, it is a crazy great resource. Please use it, especially if you're a player. So, that being said, Season 11, back to 6-on-6, Generation 9, we're Nat Dex Ubers with some bans, and we'll talk about that in a bit here. So, not everything is on the table, but most things are on the table, which is crazy because we haven't really had a season with this amount of broken stuff in a very long time. I was trying to think back, like it might even be like season 2 or kind of around there, maybe some of the double seasons that we've had access to all of these mods, which is crazy. And that was over like 2 years ago. So it's been a really long time, and I think the power level of these teams is insane. What up, Edall? How's it going? We're just talking about the format here to start, and then we'll get into all the teams and stuff. We are playing, the normal APDL rules. So, all of the normal head-to-head tiebreakers and kind of like normal bans and stuff like we've always had are still in there. Nothing too crazy there as far as the rule sets changes. But we are adding a couple of things. A kind of controversial, maybe not controversial topic, but the timer is a thing now. Per Noah says season 1 was the last time we had mythicals. Okay. So it's been forever. Quite literally the very first season and the most current season, the only seasons that we've had these broken stuff. Back to the timer is a new thing that we are instituting. Only if the game goes over 20 minutes, which I would think most teams are playing fast enough to where this is like never going to be an issue. But in some like playoff games, for instance, I'm just going to switch where I'm sitting here and adjust my camera angle. I needed a backrest. I'm like looking up at my TV and my laptop screen, so you're going to see the upside of my nose when I check chat and stuff, but deal with it. All right. So, the timer being instituted for games that last over 20 minutes, which I think is a fine compromise. Most games are going to be done, in that 15 to 25 minute time frame. And it's kind of up to the player's discretion, which I think is the dad setup. Absolutely. I think this is a fine way to institute the timer, and it's fair to where people aren't going to be super upset about it. I don't think. So I as begrudgingly as it sounds, we are adding a little bit of a get up and go for some of the games, and like this will come into play more in like playoffs and like end of season stuff. In the beginning, it's just going to be like, I need 5 minutes to get these kills because I have base 178, attack or something stupid like that. A little foreshadowing. Your team is going to have like 5-minute matchups with that speed. Bryce, that is the goal, right? I've been saying I'm going to put speed kills on every video. And we'll definitely get to that here in a minute. So yeah, I guess if you care about match procedure, the timer is the one big change here. The other thing that we're adding for this season back again is Terramons, which is kind of cool. I don't think this is showing up super well with the highlighting and stuff, but Terra captains are a thing for this season. Each team gets 2. So there's a point threshold for all the Pokemon. We all had 115 points to draft a team of 9 to 11 different mons. And 2 out of those mons, as long as they were below 9 points, could be what we're calling Terra captains. So they get to terrestrialize, they get to change their typing, with the caveat that one of the three kind of declared types has to be a primary typing. So kind of a cool team building setup, a cool way to add some variety to some of these lower tiered mons and bring them a little bit more in line with like some of the broken mythical stuff that we have access to. No, I'm just enhancing the dad setup even more, getting pillows for my back because I'm an old man. All right, that's a little better. So the Terra Captains are going to be really cool. Definitely one of the cooler team building aspects of this season, alongside the point restrictions and kind of building your team with no hard and fast rule of like, okay, you can only have one mon in this tier and two in this tier and that kind of things. The first season we did Terras, it was a learning curve for sure. Scarlet and Violet had just really come out. The mechanic was really brand new, and I think it caught some people by surprise. When you weren't kind of prepared for it. All of a sudden a Charizard is steel type and your water type moves are doing nothing, or something along those lines, to where there is a way to defend your Pokemon or give it like really insane stab potential. So a cool aspect, and Noah definitely says here in the chat here, I've seen Terra Captains done this way in a few leagues and it's gotten positive feedback, so I hope the same is true for us. I think that's definitely, I think the way we implemented it, I think it's the most fair it could be, because you at least can prepare for what the Terra options your opponent has are, right? So like, it's not like you're having to prep for 18 different types and worrying about some kind of crazy option that you've like never thought of in a million years, right? That like my Mudsdale is always going to be ground, steel, or fighting type, right? It's like, it'll only be one of those three types, and I don't have to worry about like a grass type Mudsdale coming at me and trying to do things. So I think it's a cool, safe, fair way to do it, and it definitely elevates those lower pointed tiers to kind of bring some power back to it. Another kind of just kind of procedural throughout the season, stuff that's going on is free agents and trades. Traditionally we've had 4 free agent picks. We're moving to 5 for this season, which I think is a cool change, and it'll let people adjust more as the season goes. And being able to trade and do things within teams it is going to be a neat way to kind of adjust our rosters, and it's not the crazy every week 2 months change minimum out of the teams like we had last season. So I think Noah's workload between games is going to be a lot less, updating the spreadsheet and stuff, which is cool. We've got Terra Fairy Octillery when you click Glaive Rush. Yeah, that was I don't want to talk about it, Hoop. I know Terra Steel, Halucha, and APDL final, right, Ryan? Yeah. It's all in good fun. Thank God, no weekly switches. It's gonna be a good time in season 11. We've talked about a little bit, mythicals and just kind of the absurd power level that these teams have. Megas are in the APDL for the first time, which is kind of cool. And I think we'll see when we go through the teams, we'll break down the mega choices and everything. But I think it's a really cool thing to be able to kind of take a look at. There's other stuff in here as far as just kind of rules are concerned, species clause, sleep, all the standard showdown stuff is all still in here. We've banned a couple of different moves or kind of situations, and kind of just expanded the move pool of things that we're not allowing, just to make it more fair and fun. And I think we do a really good job, 11 seasons in, over 2.5 years of doing this. We're past the point where I get upset because a Pokemon has a move that it shouldn't, and that feels really good. So hats off to the group for making that a really good format, I think, to play in. So that's season 11. Standings and PR. We're gonna record a power rankings video. Maybe Noah's gonna do that here tonight later, or maybe we'll record it tomorrow or something. I don't know. But the power rankings have been submitted. No spoilers, but it is spicy, and I think it's cool that it is that spicy because it just means that all the teams are well positioned to start week one. There's not like a really clear front runner or a clear team that's in way last place. I think if I look back in the Discord here, there was a post that Noah put in a little while ago, earlier today maybe. Yeah, so yesterday, last night. So just so you guys are aware, we've gotten votes from 5 out of the 8 voting members, and there was one team that was ranked 4th, 8th, 1st, 15th, and 8th. Just insane, the spread that was a part of that power rankings. And I think if I just peek back, that team, and no spoilers or anything, but I'm just going to double check here. They were 5th, 15th, 8th, 1st, 8th again, 4th, and 12th. So if you don't think the power level across the board is all over the place, you better just wait for this PR rankings video. It's going to be nuts. So keep in mind that that's coming out here soon. This sheet will get updated as we go with standings and power rankings and stuff. Important change from last year to this year, or last season to this season, is that instead of divisional leaders, we're just taking the top 8 to finals. So we won't have teams that go 5-1 or 4-2 and have a really good differential missing the playoffs, which I think definitely made the Team Rocket season interesting. But I know there were some teams that were like a little less enthused about how that went down. So all good things to look at, and good changes happening for this season. But that's an important distinction. Okay, so on to the schedule. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I think for season, or for the first week, if I go in here, our week 1 matchups: Arc versus Raven Lee. That'll be awesome. JK versus Alex. Sauce against Link. Lanky Paul against Apotheosis. Catfox versus Charlos. Silverhammer and Leonard. Measley and Jay Drizzy, she's back, which is really cool to see. And then Hoop versus Edol. These matchups are gonna be ridiculous. Like just nuts. How many just monster games are going to be in week 1 and moving forward. So Noah will talk more about each matchup in the power rankings video. It's going to be a super cool deal. And I think we're in for a good show. Every single week this season. We've got some crying in the I know Noah was one of the teams that suffered from the playoff breakpoints and stuff. Hoop says, I like both the division rankings. I think it's a fun way to see new people in the playoffs. Either way is fun, though. Yeah, I totally agree. I think either way we do it, sometimes you just get unlucky. If you look at like any professional sports any pro sports league out there, like there's always going to be divisions that are better than others. Like the NFL right now, like the NFC East is always really good, or like the AFC South is always terrible, So it just kind of depends on which division you're playing in, and sometimes that's a good thing, and others it means you got to step things up. So Noah goes, I agree, Hoop, but I'll always be a little salty about Toros. Well, guess what, Noah? It got drafted again. So the draft board is a good segue here. Insane how many options there were for Pokemon in this draft. Tons of really cool picks. Look at the ban list. 48 mons or 48 things that we had to take in account just to keep things It's fair. And we might even get into week 1 here where it gets even more exposed. Oh, and Noah added little deals in here, little tags if you hover over for individual bands. That's really cool. Great job with this spreadsheet, Noah. Holy crap. Lamau, Denver lost 70-20 yesterday. Yeah, Tua popped off, my dude. The Dolphins are good. This isn't an NFL podcast, but man, Miami's good at football. Alrighty. So some of the cool stuff, obviously, feel free to check this spreadsheet out. It's going to be just kind of ridiculous keeping track of all of these different things. And I'm not going to go through every single band because I do want to actually get to the teams and stuff. But it's worth looking through and being like, oh, okay, Alakazam, Mega Alakazam, no nasty plot. Floatzel, no terrestrialization. Polyrath, no terrestrialization. Kind of cool things to look through. Me and Noah almost had it doubled at one point because of a mechanic confusion. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. So, getting into rosters, again, just so aesthetically pleasing. But what I think we're going to do, and the reason we all came here, is to actually go through and talk about the teams, and what better way to start than the good old Viridian City victory bells. I'm going to get this. Yeah, there you go. Okay, 100%. Good deal. Hopefully you guys can see. I know some of the spreadsheet stuff might be a little small, but hopefully it looks okay on screen here. But I am the Viridian City Victory Bells this season. I'm going to talk about my team, and then we'll go through the other 15 coaches and kind of talk about all of their drafts and their teams. So we've kind of made a couple of jokes in the chat about it, and definitely looking at my squad. I'm tired of being outsped by stuff, and I think that having speed, especially when these things that we're drafting and playing with hit so incredibly hard, you have to be fast. And if you can outspeed stuff, you're killing stuff. And if you're killing stuff, you're winning games. So I think my draft strategy going into, the season 11 draft here was to not only, build a good type chart and make sure that I had all my resistances covered, and I have kind of my physical attackers and my special attackers and physical and special defense and all the kind of like roles for a team filled out. But I really wanted to focus on two things. Number one, Mega Beedrill is just a dope Pokemon, and I wanted to draft it. And I wanted to build a team around it, and I wanted speed. So that's kind of the strategy and the outlook that I took when I went through and built the team here. Turns out Terra Shadow buffs all stab moves, or Terra Shadow buffs all stab moves of your Terra type if they're less than 60 base power and bumps them to 60 base power. So we thought all multi-hit moves would go crazy. Okay. Interesting to unpack that. And I wonder if that's why a lot of the showdown sets are like Rock Blast all of a sudden is showing up everywhere on stuff that I'm looking up, which is spooky. And might be something that we don't take advantage of, but maybe down the line. So yeah, back to my team. Good comments though, Noah, from the Terra stuff. The shadow buffing all your stab moves is spooky. But yeah, anyway, back to my draft strategy. I wanted Mega Beedrill, fast stuff, and build a good type chart. That is the draft outlook and strategy that I thought was going to be enough to like win me games and get me to the playoffs. So our mega, and I'll zoom in here because I think we can ignore a lot of the stuff on this side of the deal, and we can just look at the fun stuff. So if I do this, and I scroll over, I wonder if this will. I didn't think about the right sizing on this stuff, but it's close enough. We can scroll. It's fine. So, all right. Just looking at my stat distribution for my team, I'm really, again, super happy with the speed. Mega Beedrill and Regieleki alone, I think, will outspeed just about anything. Except, like, Deoxys Speed got drafted, so I have that to contend with and deal with. But the hope and what I wanted out of this kind of core setup of Mega Beedrill was, number one, I wanted to be able to pivot in and out of things. So you'll notice that a lot of the mons that I drafted have access to U-turn, volt switch, flip turn, parting shot, pivot style moves that let me take advantage of my speed to get me favorable matchups. And then, you've got silly things to where, like, if we go over to a damage calculator and I type in Mega Beedrill, jolly nature with adaptability, max HP or max attack and speed. Do you want to see a silly calc, everybody? You turn into from a Beedrill into a Mega Alakazam. Does insane damage. That's a U-turn. And I think that is kind of like one of the cooler things of being able to use pivot moves like U-turn on Beedrill to be able to actually get kills. And that's why I'm like really excited to use Beedrill in this season. Its move pool is like not super deep, but it gets access to, ground type moves, poison, there are a couple of flying type moves in there. Obviously, bug gets access to knockoff and some other like really good utility moves. And actually, my plan was to use Showdown, which I'm not gonna lie, I found the coolest Showdown background ever. This is Viridian City, bitches. And it's my Showdown background for this season. So I love this art style. I just did a Google search, and this is just a really cool layout for my Showdown. So if we look up Mega Beedrill, right, we're gonna go to Natdex Ubers, and we're just gonna talk about mons, right? So Beedrill's adaptability, insane ability, right? Just does so much damage, giving me stab that is even more amplified, moving into my stab type moves. But if I look here, like I get acrobatics, which I'm always going to be holding a Mega Stone, so that's never going to happen. But I do get Baton Pass if I really wanted to pivot in a different way, which like Y when U-turn does damage. But it gets access to Brick Break to clear out screens. I do have Defog, which is nice. Being able to use some hazard control. Not that like that's going to be Mega Beedrill's job, but it is something that it is another bonus point for this Pokemon. Double Edge is funny. Drill Run is a great, it's a base 80 power ground type move, but it helps me give coverage, especially into like the fire type Pokemon matchup, where like Beedrill gets burnt to a crisp because my defenses are literally 40 and 80. So like actually the specialty is not terrible, but like 40 defense, I'm going to get like licked by a Charmander and I'm going to die. So the fact that I have access to things like Drill Run just kind of helps that matchup out quite a bit more. Endeavor's a really cool tech. Facade for if I want to try. Somebody made the comment. I think it was like Sean the other night. It was like, well, we just gotta burn the Beedrill and it's done for. And that is true. Like it is kind of all in on the attack stat, but I do have Facade so that I can fight back if I do get burned or paralyzed or anything like that, which is really good. Beedrill's special attack is nuts. Noah just made the comment. Base 15 special attack. Not good. So unfortunately, we're never going to use Giga Drain. And the grass coverage there that we do get is going to be pretty worthless. Has access to the hidden powers. I get Iron Defense, which is Mimi. Knockoff, again, super good utility move. Also, in draft league formats, when everything holds an item just about, it is going to be really clutch. It's going to be interesting to see which, like, I'm willing to bet there will be games that get decided this season on Mega switching into a knockoff and taking like no damage and then getting a kill. And I think that's a really cool interaction that we haven't had to play with before. To where like your big beefy defensive Mega Pokemon are not going to take damage as much on knockoffs and stuff, and it's just going to make things a lot more interesting, which is kind of cool. I love the fact that this thing gets outrage. I mean, why not, right? So if I ever wanted to just like hit something with a base 120, dragon type move, I can. Poison Jab, probably one of my best stab moves, especially with adaptability. I get Pursuit. Oddly enough, I have access to a screen in Reflect. Bryce, it is a really angry bee. It sure is. Again, like Sludge Bomb is not ever going to get used because of my terrible special attack. Roost is really nice. The ability to actually like have reliable recovery on Beedrill, which again is really frail. If there is ever a spot where I can afford to click the button to heal, that's going to be awesome. But it's not going to be, like most of the time I'm just going to have 4 attacks and I'm going to try and kill stuff. Come at me, sub Swords Dance Beedrill. Probably not a good thing. My defense stat is so small. I like those substitutes are just going to break immediately. Gets Throat Chop, which is kind of neat. The other thing that kind of is cool, like I said, U-Turn, X's are definitely good moves. But I do have Toxic Spikes as well on Beedrill, which is really cool. Hazards are not something that my team is super great at, but I do have the option for like a sneaky Toxic Spikes. Maybe if you don't want to stay in and take a sting from this bee, maybe I get up a layer of Toxic Spikes and punish the switch out, which is cool. The other thing that is not listed up top, but should be, and I will use this season, is Fell Stinger. If I kill something, and trust me, I've looked at some calcs, if I kill something with Fell Stinger, which is base 50, but with adaptability actually does much more, and then I get a +3 attack boost, like, you're dead. You're gone. It's over. And this is why I freaking love this Beedrill. It's not the best Mega out there, and it's certainly not like the most overpowered thing, but man, I'm excited to use it. So that's definitely the highlight for me. Empoleon, that was my second pick. It got buffed with the DLC. It gets access to like Roost now and competitive as an ability, which is really cool. Like I like Empoleon to be like one of the defensive cores of the team, but again, just like a cool mon, right? So Empoleon, and I did want to check this. Like I said, pivots are a thing that I think, obsessed with every single season. And the fact that Beedrill gets U-turn, Empoleon gets flip turn, Grimmsnarl gets parting shot, Noivern gets U-turn, Moltres I'm pretty sure gets U-turn, Regieleki gets volt switch, Iron Thorns gets volt switch. I'm gonna be switching all over y'all. Um, just don't bring hazards because that would kind of throw the strategy all in the toilet. But we'll see. We have lots of defoggers and we do have a rapid spinner. And actually, like Empoleon being the mon that it is actually like one of my better defoggers. It's not great. I don't love the fact that this thing is gonna have to be hazard control sometimes, but I do have that option for like a steel type or a partial steel type to be able to kind of handle the defog duties and help me out in the hazard control game. Lots of other cool moves. I'm not going to spend as much time as I did on Beedrill on everything that I drafted, but just like Empoleon has really good stats across the board. Decent attack stats to where like physical like it's probably never happening, but like I can run flip turn and like still do okay damage. I could run knockoff for support. I could do aqua jet for chip or something like that. But I'm really excited about competitive as an ability to be able to raise my stats. And the special move pool is, good enough to where, we've got air slash, blizzard, flash cannon, stab, flash cannon. Bring your fairy types. I dare you. Ice Beam, the most broken move ever made. Scald. Terra Blast, which I don't get access to because it was expensive, and rightly so. But it gets Weather Ball, which will be helpful for all the weather teams that got drafted. Just a really solid move pool, solid defensive typing, good stats, and that's definitely why Empoleon is going to come to party. So next up on my list was Grimmsnarl. I think for Pokemon that have not only the capability to be a physical attacker. I mean, it's got base 120 physical attack. Like, actually not bad. Noah used it in an Ubers league, which is great. And it's still got 95 special attack, which is pretty good. I drafted this thing for Prankster. And like, if you believe anything different, you're just wrong. It's an insanely good ability. And I think it's just a really solid screen setter. I get parting shot, like just good things to be able to kind of just be a support mon that also has the ability to pack a punch, and that's definitely if you see here, like I drafted a Mega and then a Steel Fairy Dragon Core to start, and then later on I got a Fairy Water or a Grass, Fire, and Water core. So I got kind of like those three type triangles finished off in the first three picks, and I got defense, utility, and attack, and offense in Noivern, and also fast offense in Noivern. Ironically, Empoleon and Grimmsnarl, for as fast as my team is, they are the second slowest Pokemon on the team. They both are. But the Prankster ability for Grimmsnarl kind of fixes that. Noivern's dope. I love it. It's got really good special attack and speed, decent enough move pool. Could maybe, where'd it go? There we go. Could maybe do something like Boom Burst shenanigans with like a throat spray or, who knows. But Noivern's a really good option. Just really decent stats across the board. It's special attack and speed are definitely the high points, but it's not bad at anything necessarily. Mudsdale is the first Terra Captain that I picked. And like I said before, I did pick fighting and steel for the other two types. It's a pure ground type, so I was kind of pigeonholed there. But Mudsdale being fighting and steel, those were defensive typings outside of kind of like fighting. Fighting's only weak to fairy, flying, and psychic. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not bad, but I wanted it for stab body press. Um, and if I run stamina and get a couple defense boosts, and then terastalize and click the button, like that's gonna do a lot of damage. And then steel is just like a really good defensive typing, um, and gives me like stab iron head if I ever go into that kind of a scenario. But yeah, Mudsdale I just thought was a cool Pokemon. It was 9 points, so it kind of fit the point curve really, really well, and is definitely one of the two Terra Captains that a little more on the defensive side, but could also, dish out quite a bit of damage. Some talk in the chat here about hazards and stuff. DJ says I'm bringing nothing but Tinkatuff hazards. I don't think I play you this season, DJ, so you go right ahead. And now that I just said that, I better actually check and see. Yeah, I don't play DJ this season, so it'll be playoffs before that happens. So I'm good. Choke goes right past Arc. Right. Moltres is the next one. I think Moltres is super cool. Obviously it's a legendary bird, so it's got really good stats. Flame Body has burned me before, quite literally. So we're going to put it on the team. It's a really good defensive wall, can also be a really good attacker. And helps me out on the physical side and the special offensive side. And again, base 90 speed, so it's actually pretty speedy. Another defogger. Unfortunately, Edel says you took my horse from me. Bro, I understand. I didn't get sniped once in this draft, and I feel really, really lucky because I know there were others that got hit hard with picks being like taken right out from underneath them. I guess I was just faster. Hey! Let's see here. Yeah, so Moltres, gonna have to do... You took 2 of my Mons. DJ, there are like 40 Fairy and Steel types in the draft. You can't have them all. I'm sorry. Edel says I got sniped twice. This and Quincy took double. Sure. Moltres is going to have to run boots every week, and it's going to be difficult. But if they don't have hazards, then I'm okay, which is great. I can and I will, says Delwyn. Okay, well, good luck with that. Okay, so our last 4 Mons here are Virizion, Regieleki, Espeon, and Iron Thorns. I grabbed Virizion because it is a fat special wall with speed. Now, I know I keep bringing this up, but like, number one, Trick Room is going to be the bane of my existence if I ever have to play against it. But, I do have a Mudsdale that's got 35 speed, so at least I can kind of play that game. But like Virizion having 129 special defense and over 100 speed is just kind of like a neat stat combo that I think gives like a wall a really good sticking power. The move pool is also really nuts for Virizion. If I just pull it up here, and I'm always going to call this thing Verizon, just because I need the shiny to be red and black, and this thing to be named like iPhone 12. It's literally a phone company. But as far as like move pool is concerned, attack and special attack both being 90, and then just like all of the options here means that this thing's sets are all over the place. Weston says, "Bro, I'm so hyped." Yeah, dude, it's gonna be dope. Um, this season is just gonna be so wild. I cannot wait for games to get started, and it's happening really, really soon. Edol says, "Hey, I'm likely getting an iPhone 12. My current one is broke." Well, hey, why don't you get an iPhone? Didn't like the iPhone 15 launch? Like, aren't we on the 15 now? And they're made of titanium. Um, just get one of those, and tell me if it's worth it, because I'm due for an upgrade too. My phone's not broken, but I'm due for an upgrade. Um, so yeah, Verzion. Tons of really cool moves, both physical and special. I can set screens. I can run Assault Vest. I can roar stuff out. Has a couple of really good moves that can't miss or don't care about stats, which is cool. So like, Sacred Sword, things like that, which helps kind of in like opportunities where I'm gonna get set up on, or they're gonna try and set up on me. I can kind of punish that or work around it. I can only afford a 12. Totally fair, and like better than most phones out there. I have an 11. It works fine, but it's just 4 generations old by now, which is time for an upgrade. The back is crappy. Failed the drop test and the bend test. You didn't run over it with your car, did you, Ryan? But yeah, Verzion, super cool, deep move pool, nice stats, fits a good kind of role on the team. The grass fighting type is a little weird, but I think when we look at my type chart, I did a good job of kind of working around that. Espeon is the other Terra captain that I picked. No, I dropped it in the toilet. Oh no. Oh no. Dude, I can honestly say I've never done that, and I thank God, because that sounds terrible. That actually sounds awful. Hoop is still rocking a Galaxy S9. Fair. Fair. It's a phone. It works. Why change if it works? I'm going to take a drink of water before I talk about Espeon here. Espeon is the other Terror captain. I was kind of looking at the end of my draft on like, how do I spend my points, right? And I kind of, in talking with a couple different people, I realized that my team still needed some punch and still needed like a way to get over the top of some teams that just had better stuff. I think what I drafted was absolutely fine, but I needed that like last bit of push to get over the top and really become a contender with the 10 that I drafted. So Espeon fit the point curve. It's got magic bounce, and that was like one of the biggest things that I wanted, especially because hazards do kind of cripple Moltres, Speedrill, things like that. Don't appreciate switching in on hazards over and over and over again. So the ability to bounce them back at people means that I don't have to run hazards myself, even though like Mudsdale can, Empoleon can. It lets me do a little bit of kind of mind games on like, do you really want to click Stealth Rock? Do you really want to click that third layer of spikes? So Espeon gives me a little bit of an advantage there. It's got a good move pool, good stats. It's got base 130 special attack and 110 speed. So it is a speedy girl that can actually hit pretty hard. And for my Terra types, I was really kind of at a loss for what to pick. I like really didn't feel like there was a big hole in like what I needed. So I just picked offensive typings that have very few things that can take a hit from them. And I picked Psychic, obviously, because it's a pure Psychic type. And I picked Dragon and Fairy as the other two. And we'll see if that was a blunder or if it is going to matter at all. But it gives me even more stab for like a Dazzling Gleam or a Moonblast or something like that. And like Terry, Dragon, Fairy, Terra Dragon, Terra Blast is going to hit hard on just about everything. So it was just kind of a cool thing. The psychic typing is neat. Didn't really hurt my type chart all that bad. And yeah, I thought it was a cool option to grab for a second Terra. Who knows how long it's gonna be on the team or if I'm gonna use it a ton, but it's always there, and you always have to think about it, which is kind of neat. So, and then the last two that I committed to a strategy that is a little out there, but could be really, really fun. And it all stemmed from the fact that I needed a rapid spinner, actually. So, 7-8 rounds in, I'm looking at my team. Like, I've got a bunch of defoggers, but I don't have a rapid spinner yet. And I've got defoggers that need to wear boots or, like, Empoleon, which, like, I really want to put leftovers on. And I don't really want to, like, waste move slots. But, we'll see. So I was like, I really would like a rapid spinner. What is out there? And it was like Regieleki, Blastoise, Forretress, a couple lower tiered mons. And I was like, I really don't want to use a Terra pick or like waste points on a low tier rapid spinner when there's like other stuff that I want to spend points on that just does their role outside of rapid spin better. So I looked at Regieleki and I was like, this thing's got base 200 speed, and I'm kind of all in on speed kills here. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, man, if I draft Regieleki and then pick up a Terramon like Espeon that was at like the 7, 8, 9 points, I have enough left over to get a Paradoxmon to take advantage of electric terrain if I was ever to set it. So I drafted Regieleki, which has a very small move pool, and it's like what Regieleki does is very straightforward. Like I'm not gonna surprise people with Regieleki, but it's a point in my draft and in my team that honestly, like, that's okay. Like I don't mind the fact that I get 4 attacking moves that aren't electric type or whatever it is, I think Regieleki is really, really cool. It's a great suicide lead. I can set screens. I can go boom. I can, volt switch out at base 200 speed, which is cool. It is faster than almost everything. Almost everything. And I think it's going to give me some really cool back and forth play with Iron Thorns, which is the last Pokemon that I drafted, that Paradoxmon that has Quirk Drive. So if I do put Electric Terrain down ever with Regieleki, I get the chance to boost a stat. And I was just looking at Iron Thorns here today, and I'm not going to give anything away, but man, I click a button and things will start dying, and it's really exciting. The play between 2 electric types and making sure that I don't get taken advantage of and like I don't play into like a big ground weakness is going to be something that I'm going to have to watch for. But I think what I've drafted gives me the ability to get creative in team building in a way that I haven't really ever been before. And Noah says it's the highest base speed in the game, LOL, which is exactly what I wanted. You're not going to outspeed me. You're not. I don't have defog or rapid spin from Weston. Oh, dude. What I'll say is you've got 5 free agent picks. So if it becomes a problem, dump something and grab it. Like there's some really good rapid spinners still left on the board. And like I was talking, I was looking at Regieleki. Blastoise is still open. Josh is tired of getting outsped. Yeah, Ryan, I am tired of losing because I got speed crept or I can't outspeed a scarf or something like that and I just lose, right? So now, like, you have to run a scarf, and even then you're still going to be slower, which is great. But yeah, Weston, like if you're looking for a defogger or a rapid spinner, like Blastoise at 11 is still a free agent and is like one of the better free agents overall left. So that would be super cool. Ferrothorn, if you wanted to spend 15 points, like that's a big. I think Ferrothorn gets rapid spin. I would be shocked if it doesn't. Right? Oh shit! No, it doesn't get rapid spin. Okay, forget what I said. Blastoise, still super good. Still, so yeah. DJ goes, no, it does not. The issue is I need Politoed. Well, dude, you can do stuff. I haven't looked at your team yet, but if it becomes a problem, like maybe drop a higher tiered mon, pick up 2 low tier mons. I don't know. There's ways to do it. I mean, there's a lot of spinners and defoggers left. It's just you're gonna have to search for them. I can also do stuff too. Yes, I'm not pigeon held. No, DJ, you're not. Okay. So yeah, that's my team. I overall the type chart looks really good. If I zoom out here just a tish, really just have an ice weakness, which I have 3 Pokemon out of 10 are weak to it. But it's not too big of a deal. But if I ever play Garrett, I am going to have to watch out for the snow. But there are ways to get around that and figure things out. So, but overall, really happy with how the team turned out. Lots of good options in my type chart. Not really any big giant holes. The worst I have is 3 weak out of 10. To anything, which is really cool. And I have a couple of 4s on the resist. So my type chart looks really good, actually. And then, back to stats. I did draft 10. So I do have a free roster spot open. If we were to ever drop something and add 2 low tiers or whatever. But that's the squad. I am super happy with it. I think it's going to be exciting to team build. And a cool challenge that I'm definitely up for. So, all right. Well, should we do some other teams? I've talked for an hour about the league and just my stuff, but I don't know. You want to look through some other Pokemon? Since DJ is talking about not being pigeonholed, do me. Okay, Weston, we'll do you. Okay. Oh gosh. Am I dumb? Yeah. Where? Oh, there it is. Okay. I was like, am I dumb? I was like, where's Weston's team? Just clicking through every single one of them before I actually recognize, hey, it's right here. Okay. I'm going to blame that on the fact that it's quarter to 11 at night. I'm sorry, buddy. I think I clicked every single one except Stanley Staraptors. All right. So let's look at Link, aka Weston, aka Jasuke's butt. 3rd season coming to the APDL. That's very understandable. Oh no, dude, I actually really like your team. Okay. Let's talk about Wested and the Stanley Star Raptors. Dope logo, first of all. Also, the Star Raptor. Star Raptor is one of my 3 favorite Pokemon of all time. So you get brownie points for having a dope mascot. No, I mean I'm tired too. LOL. I'm in good company tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I love Star Raptor. It's so cool. It is really, really cool. Okay, so as far as Weston's team here, one of the few teams that chose to kind of go all in and spend a lot of points up front and only draft 9 Pokemon overall, which was the bare minimum. You had to have at least 9, but you could go up to 11. So the fact that you only drafted 9 is really cool. You should rank teams off a logo and team names. I think we did. Noah did that on a stream, not too long ago. But I will definitely do it. Again, I'll do it on the next stream, or I'll put it together and I'll post it in the Discord. Okay, so Weston's team drafted 9 Pokemon, which is interesting. I think it is really, really interesting whether you chose 9, 10, or 11 mons to draft. Because in some certain in certain circumstances, it makes you easier or harder to prep for, but also means that like, hey, the 9 Pokemon that I am prepping for are nuts, right? So looking through kind of the thing that stands out to me right away is this is like, obviously there's some rain elements happening here, right? Like weather wars are back in season 11, and this is one of the teams that is going to have to be mentioned in the fact that like, hey, we've got a situation where like rain is happening 9 times out of 10, or like that is absolutely something that you have to plan for. Right? So, Baxcalibur is a Pokemon that I used a couple seasons ago briefly. I could not make it work in the format that we were playing in, but that doesn't mean it's bad. I think Baxcalibur is nuts, actually. It's got really good stats. It's got a decent move pool. It can do a lot of different things. And the fact that you have rain, and this thing gets thermo exchange, like, man. And it gets scale shot. Yeah. Man. Like, Baxcalibur is going to end games in like 2 turns. Like, you switch it into a fire type attack in the rain, and you're not going to take any damage. It's going to get the boost. You can scale shot to increase your speed, and then just like glaive rush shit to death. Like, spooky. So, super cool mon. Urshifu Rapid Strike is going to give me nightmares. Like, why is this thing allowed? Surging Strike's always critting. You have rain to buff it. Tactical nuke incoming. Yep, absolutely eat all. Like, just, not to mention, it's got base 130 attack. And Baxcalibur has 145. Like, these mons are nuts on the attack stats, right? Like, just a 1-2 punch that is going to end lives. And is, really, like, doesn't have to be in the rain, but can be supported by rain, which I think is, like, the best way to do weather in Draft League, is not to go all in on that strategy and make it kind of your team identity, which there were a couple of teams that did that. But to have weather be always something that I have to look at and prep for when I'm like looking at your team, but not being like, okay, well, he could leave weather behind, and Baxcalibur and Urshifu are still really, really scary threats. So I think that's super cool. Goldengo is nuts as well. And you get rid of like, if I get rid of a fire weakness in the rain, like you just, have that not be such a thing. Like again, just gets it to be one less thing to worry about if you've got that weather set up. I'm so excited, and it was cheaper than single strike. Yeah, I think rapid strike is better overall, especially in the context of your team. Goldango is going to be awesome. The amount of resistances and like things that this thing does to your type chart is stupid, right? Like it's weak to 4 things, but if you put rain up, like forget about fire, and then it gives you resistances or immunities to almost every other type. And good as gold is also nuts. Yeah, like gives immunity to status moves. Forget about burn, forget about paralyze, forget about sleep. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Really good stats too. Venusaur is a cool mega. Fits well in the rain team. Like again, you get rid of that fire weakness that you're like somewhat worried about. You can, abuse the fact that this thing gets access to a lot of good moves. Sylveon is like just a solid mid-tier Pokemon, plus thick fat. Yep, great point there. Helps out with ice and fire, which is good. And like, all of the megas are really cool, right? Like, the fact that we'll get to see this thing like mega evolve and start clicking buttons, like, just bring Frenzy Plant 1 week, please, and just mega kill something. Overkill is the name of the game this year. Let's see. Sylveon, how many points was Sylveon worth? I'm interested to see. Draft board. Oh no, my headset's getting low on battery. Sylveon was 13. Yeah, so like a pretty decent but like not super expensive pick, which gives you a really good special Pokemon. 110 and 130 for attack and defense is nothing to scoff at. It's a really good cleric. Politoed, obviously one of the 2 amazing weather setters out there. Your main rain dance guy, which is super cool. Kilowattrel's dope. Outrage is kind of funny. You mean Overquill? I haven't talked about Overquill yet. I'm getting to it though. Yeah, Kilowattrel's cool. It's one of your Terras. Let's see, electric, normal, and steel. I'm interested to see, what did you do for normal? Normal type moves. I guess, okay, Weather Ball, Stab, Weather Ball. Or does Weather Ball change? It changes type though. So we're gonna quick attack and facade with Terra normal? That's an interesting pick. I didn't realize that you picked normal for a Terra type. What else does it get? Giga Impact? Hyper Beam? Oh, it was for facade. Okay. Yeah, Kilowattrel 70 base attack, 105 special attack, defensive option. Okay, sure. Yeah. Yep. Okay, makes sense. I think it's a cool mon. Overquill is really neat. Another good Terra option. You pick Poison, Water, and Dark for it to give it some stab on some moves. Water's a great Terra type. No matter what you're looking at, just because it's such a good defensive typing. Helps with the rain. And then Ludicolo, just another like cool like rain piece. Obviously some of these things like Kilowattrel is good outside of rain, but is amazing in the rain. Overquill probably the same, right? Ludicolo is absolutely like a rain Pokemon. Like you're probably not bringing Ludicolo unless you have Politoed. But like Swift Swim is a really good ability. A really good ability. And then being able to kind of play off of the fact that it gets a lot of really good moves. Like a lot of really good moves. You get Thunder Punch even. Holy cow. Like Weather Ball alone is going to be great for so many different mons that you can have bring. So I dig it. I think in my power rankings I put Stanley in the top half, and I think it is going to be really interesting to see how you guys do. But just like looking at the team and looking at the potential, I see a lot of things that should make people scared. And I'm excited to see, number one, all of your games this season, and watch especially these two Pokemon just like destroy. But that's Stanley. Okay. Anybody else in chat want me to do their team? If not, we're just vibing. We're just picking. I know. Hit me with it. Okay, Noah says, "Come on, Josh, DJ." Okay, we'll do Noah and then we'll do DJ. I think I need to plug my headset in. Hold on one sec, and we'll do eat all. Yep. I need to plug my headset in though. But because I'm downstairs, I've got USB-C cords all over the place. I will even send you my team to look at this week. On stream, Dan's gonna go crazy. All right. One sec. I'm gonna plug that in. We'll assume the position again. Oh, hey, buddy. Okay. And we're back. Now I won't lose my headset during the stream, which would be bad. Okay, Motosoak Magicians. I am pretty sure that this was my number one team in power rankings. And I do typically think that Noah drafts extremely well, but holy shit. Guys, this team is nuts. Especially after the two swaps he made in the kind of free agent grace period. I think this team is going to be a contender for sure. And is going to be insanely difficult to prep for. Mega Gardevoir. Guys. Pixelate's a thing. Hyper Voice is going to go burr. But do you know even beyond what Pixelate? Gardevoir gets Trace. Think about that. Gardevoir gets Trace and you don't have to Mega Evolve right away. So you can Trace so many good abilities. So many options. Even just to scout stuff out. This is incredible. And then if it's an ability that you don't like, you just click the Mega button and you go into, one of the better special attackers in the game. Yeah, Weston. So you can use the base mon, but it has to carry its Mega Stone. So in a scenario like this, like Noah can wait to Mega Evolve until after he's done using Trace or whatever other ability he wants, and like wants to actually like start clicking moves. Then he can click Mega Evolve and then go into it. So like for a situation like this, it's a really cool ability, and like is worth maybe not, uh, not Mega Evolving right away. I could have Chlorophyll against Peyton. Yeah, absolutely you could. Yep, absolutely you could. Noah could also trace Wonder Guard. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. So then you have to hit it with so many different things. No, I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up. I just said curse. I just said trace was a cool ability, which it is. But I didn't spoil. um, but yeah, like for me, I've got a B drill. Like there's no way I'm not clicking the mega button immediately. But like Noah with Gardevoir could actually get away with like not evolving right away. And Noah goes, let's just say I want to see Shedinja. Silly. The fact that we allowed Shedinja in the first place is silly. But good luck. But yeah, back to Noah's team. Um, Look at these attack stats, you guys. Holy crap. He's just loaded with options. Shedinja and Draft Loki, not very good. Okay, fair. You can prep for it. That's fine. Every mon for week 1 can hit it. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I just look at Noah's type chart and I see a lot of good stuff here. Not a lot of glaring weaknesses. I look at his stat chart. Ridiculous. Manaphy being base 100 across the board is real good. All of these physical attacking options, all of these special attacking options. Omega. Hoopa Confined has base 150. Like, it's not even unbound, and it's got a nuts stat line. Like, yeah, it's a paperweight on the defensive side, but, like, who cares? Caquavel can set up and do Moxie stuff. Aqua Step is a really good move. Tornadus gets Prankster, and, it can be a really good support Pokemon. No one has 2 Moxie Sweepers. Oh, and by the way, Hoop is a freaking Terramon. How is that fair? Guja's a really solid defensive option. Heatran is as well. Hazard control. He's got even like a little weather core here for like snow and hail and stuff. I just think that this team is nuts and loaded. And like a lot of teams are loaded this season. But like, Jesus. Just ridiculous. I'm scared to play Noah. I think we play week 3 or something like that, and it's going to be rough. But I will say, oh no. Oh no. You can trace adaptability. Oh no. I said be quiet, stop. Hey, that's against me. I can say it as much as you want. That's funny. Okay. Anyways, that's Noah's team. It's spooky. I think a lot of really good pieces. A lot of it's just a really good. Bro, none of this tracing matters since guard is so slow in base form, and you can't scarf it. So like, yeah, okay, but like, it's a cool interaction, DJ, and I've seen it trace stamina from Mudsdale and literally 6-0. Yeah. And that's another Mon that I have. Great. That's okay. One poison jab and it's dead. So, yeah, I think Noah's team is really, really good. I think there's a lot of options here, even without Trace and the meme that we've kind of created it in. I think there are things that will surprise us with how he builds the team. Everything is cool in theory, and sometimes it just keeps it in theory. Noah just prepping for you, Josh. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. DJ, you're right, but it still means we can have fun. It's week 0. We can have fun, and it's going to be the most try hard season, but we can still have fun right now. But yeah, this was my number 1 team, and I am scared, quite honestly. DJ, since you're been so chatty in the chat here, let's pull you up. I think it was a cute idea to go in on the steel and fairy types, and I honestly thought that your type chart was going to be way worse than this. Like I'm astonished. I'm astonished that it is this well balanced. So like, well done on not making it just like, hey, I drafted 2 types and I'm just gonna run. A Salazzle beats you. So like, hats off to you. I think there are some really cool pieces here. Like Hisuian Lilligant is spooky. I think that's a really, really cool mon. Milotic is a great defensive wall. Corviknight's obviously really good. Mega Mawile and Diancie are like really interesting pieces that I think are going to get more mileage than people think. Mini Tinkadoink is coming week 1. I sent you the team this week, Josh Rooney. Well, I don't want to like put it up on screen. That's not good, right? I do want to look at this though. I mean, the fact that Tinkatuff can run Eviolite is neat. Like, definitely helps and makes that mon pretty decent still. Metagross is really cool. Florges, I think, is like less good than what people. Jackson won't see it. Don't worry about that. Okay. All right. The man has spoken. Here's DJ's team for week 1. We've got a Choice Specs, Yanmega, Bug Buzz, Terra Blast, Ancient Power, and Air Slash. Terra Electric. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. This thing, obviously, fast, hits hard. You're missing 4 EVs, though, bro. Why are you not maxing out those EVs? You got 4 points left. Are we allowing Z moves? I don't believe so. I think Z moves are banned, if I am correct. Banned moves. Here we go. Banned mechanics. No Z moves. I didn't see them in the rules. Did you read the rules? All right. Back to DJ's team. We've got the Yanmega. Super cool. Love the Terra Electric. That's going to be cool. Ancient Power Omni Boosts are going to be great. Yes, DJ. We'll need to check. We'll need to switch. But we'll go to weakness policy, Diancie, then. The whole point of having megas was to do national decks, so all the gimmicks. Absolutely not. Read the rules. I will bust your balls. We've got so much stuff banned. Absolutely not free reign. Either way, though, weakness policy Diancie is going to be cool. Diamond Storm is a really cool attack. Rock Polish plus the weakness policy to go off means that this thing's going to be a monster. Body Press is a really good move. Play Rough is also a really good move. Solid. I think Megas are more broken than Z moves. That's an interesting take, DJ. I don't know if I agree with you, but that's an interesting take. I guess you could make the argument that like a Z move happens once and Megas are like permanent through the game. But like a Z move probably kills or like gives you a stat buff that's enough to maybe sweep. Well, I don't know. I guess there's definitely an argument for Megas being more broken. Depends on the Z move, depends on the Mega. Sure. Yeah. So does Terastallizing. Yeah. Which is more broken than Z moves. Yeah, I mean, like, Terastallization is just better Z move, right? I agree. Clangor of Souls is broken. Yeah, I'll agree. Season 12, everybody. Z moves are back. Okay, discount Scarm with leftovers. Little Hone Claws action for Drill Pecs. Okay. Roost and Sub. Boost up your attack power. And then Drill Peck stuff to death. Soul Blaze Season 7 flashbacks. Eat all. I don't remember Season 7 hardly at all. I'm going to be real with you. Punch Fast Metagross with a Life Orb. Lots of clear body stuff, which is cool. The agility set for setup is nice. This is probably EV'd to kill something specific, right? I think we'd all like to forget about Season 7. Bullet Punch is great. Thunder Punch for coverage. Earthquake's a great move. Love it. Fairly Odd Parents, Tinkatuff with the Eviolite. So you've got a Stealth Rock, Encore, Thunderwave, and Knockoff. That's a super solid set. I really like this. I wonder... You're playing Jackson? Where's the Iron Bellators here? What do you have to worry about, right? Like Tinkatuff and Earthquake from Dragonite, maybe? Like Tinkatuff. Defensive. Did you literally just copy the... It is straight copied. Or is this defensive or offensive? Oh, it's speedy. Interesting. Okay. Fairly Odd Parents. All right. Let's just look here. I'm interested. Tinkatuff. Fairly Odd Parents. Dragonite. Choice Band. Yikes. You're a fast little boy, though. Fast little girl. So you do get like a Thunder Wave off, or, you know, you can knock off an item. It's pretty decent speed, actually. No, it's EV'd specifically because I like that it was 400 attack. Sure. And only that. Bidoof. Didn't realize that was the same. You, of course, have to worry about the god of all Pokemon, Lord Bidoof. Yeah. Little Cup Bidoof, Swords Dance. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's go level 100 here. I don't know, DJ. You're only doing 18% to Bidoof. That seems like a losing play. You're gonna have to change the whole set. The whole team's got to get scrapped. Neat. I like the speed investment. That's neat and cool. Eviolite's a good move. I like it. And then you got like the thick Florges, with the leftovers, your special wall, physical defensive investment. Get the Calm Mind in there. Wish, Protect, Stored Power. Pretty good. Pretty good. I still think Bidoof is going to be a problem for you, though. All right. Let's see. Yeah, what else about DJ's team? Min-maxing a lot on the stats. Lot of gaps in here, but overall, like I said, for drafting two types, like this team turned out a lot better than I thought it would. And like Fairy and Steel are two really good types to just kind of have as defensive options. And like you get a lot of coverage, which is really cool. I will say this is a slow team. Yanmega and Lilligan, obviously are exceptions to those rules. But speed is not on your side. And whether or not that's a determining factor or whether you win might not matter. But that's just something that I noticed from looking at the stats. But really cool. Really cool team overall. I did not rank DJ very high just because I thought, overall, a lot of the other teams were doing things a little bit better. They drafted more broken stuff. They had better overall strategies, but DJ's a former champion and probably better at Pokemon than all of us. So I'm gonna watch and be proven wrong. I'm just trying to see how many gym badges I can hand out. Well, hopefully it's 6, right? Not enough to get into Victory Road. Doesn't matter. All right. Next up, just because Edol was in chat, I did a silly. Weston did a silly. We'll probably go for another 15 minutes and then call it for tonight. So I'm not going to get through all the teams, but hey, maybe we do another stream tomorrow or the night after. But Edol's in chat, so we'll talk about. I made a transaction already. All right, let's look. All right, transactions. Hey, so I have a transaction. I know it doesn't happen until next week. I need a fire type. Bad. I see. Yeah. I was going to use a free agent swap. Neat. I'm going to drop Sylveon and pick up Arcanine. Kamish. Is this legal? Can we do it? Is that happening? I will let Noah rain justice from on high, whether or not that actually goes through or not. But interesting, Weston. I love Arcanine. I think it's a cool Pokemon. Fire types are good, and few and far between. So I dig the idea. Whether it can happen this week or next week, we'll see. Okay. Edol's team, the Icebound Falls Insurgents. A little bit of sun action. Drafted 10 Pokemon. Really drafted 9 Pokemon because Bonsly is like not a real thing. And now watch, it's going to get a kill and I'm going to be proven wrong, which I hope. So now I can pick up Sylveon now. You loser, you steal my fairy type and then drop it. Oh. Noah says it'll go through next week since it's already in the schedule for this week. Don't piss you. Hey, don't you diss Bonsly. Prove me wrong and I will owe you $1. I will make that bet with you, Ryan. Like if Bonsly does something worthwhile in a game besides set up Stealth Rock and then die on turn 2, I will owe you $1. So you drafted 9 Mons, plus you drafted 9.5 Mons, $1 incoming. Walking Wake is extremely scary. And then you gave it 9 Tails for Sun, which is real good. Mew is insane. The ultimate value pick. Silvally gives you a lot of different options. Is Silvally, can that be any type or does it have to be normal type? You can put the memory on there and have it be any type, right? which gives you a ton of flexibility, which is cool. Mega Gallade, one of the best megas in the game. I mean, just nuts for attack stat. Little frail on the just HP stat overall, but like 95 defense, 115 defense. Basically another Terramon. Yeah. Yep. So super cool option there. Um, Quillfish is like a neat Terra captain, just being Evioliteable and like having Intimidate. I think Hisuian Lilligant. Yeah, you still get uh you get Swift Swim, but you get Intimidate, which is good. You can give it Eviolite. That's really solid. Mimikyu is like really good setup potential. You know, you can Swords Dance. You can use that disguise to be able to really get kills, and you know the fact that you've got priority and Shadow Sneak is really cool. Mamoswine is a really neat kind of bulky defensive option. Ice Ground is kind of rough for typing, but like you know it's gonna do what it does, right? Electrode really fast. Uh, kind of a cool screen lead, suicide lead, good Volt Switcher. Um, Good Terramon. Actually, like a really good Terramon. I think Electrode is a dope option. Just to be able to. What types did you give Electrode? That's probably pretty important. Electric, normal, and ice. So you're gonna Terra, normal, explode. Is that the play? What other normal type moves does Electrode get? Electrode, normal. So yeah, that's 100% Terra normal explosion. 1,000% Terra normal explosion with your base 50 attack stat. That'll kill something. That'll kill something. Um, Ice is good. You know, helps you get around the ground types. Quillfish Hisui, poison, water, fire. Good deal. Yeah, I dig it. A little scared for that ground type weakness. Um, Too bad it still won't kill anything. We need to bring back the explosion counter for the season. Yeah, I mean between Electrode, Regieleki, there's a couple other mons that can go boom. Uh, I think we bring it back in the weekly update. We say how many mons went explode. Um, but yeah, no, I think this is a really decent team, Ryan. Like I said, ground weakness is a little scary, um, especially because like your Sun team, it gets kind of blown up by ground types. You've got a couple of things, you know, obviously the terrestrialization helps quite a bit. Going normal type gets out around that. So like those are good like options to get around that weakness, but little spooky. Especially because Earthquake is like the best move in the game. Actually, it's interesting that like Earthquake used to be the best move, and like everybody just like automatically ran Earthquake back in the day on everything, and now it's just like you know, it's a good move, but there's like other broken stuff now, which is cool. Power creep is a thing. I will 100% explode Metagross at least twice. We should all look at Sarah's if you have time. I sort of helped put it together. Okay, cool. Headlong Rush from Edol. Yeah, dude. So, no, I dig the team. You drafted 9.5 Mons. Really cool Terra options. I think that's really, really cool options there. Mimikyu's great. Mew is insane. Walking Wake is probably going to be ridiculous. Really, really solid team. Who else is in chat? I got time for like one more. Weston said Sarah's. Who else was in chat here? We've done Noah's. We haven't done Hoops, but we can maybe save Hoops for tomorrow or the next night. Yeah, yeah. We can do Sarah's. We'll do Sarah's and then call it a night for tonight. Coochie Poochienas, where are you? Where are you? Got some work to do now. Okay, the Coochie Poochienas. Oh boy. Noah says, I like Sarah's team a lot. Yeah, I do too, actually. I do like Sarah's team quite a bit. Um, I think that there's a lot of really good. Where are you? I'm so sorry. Sarah and I did a lot of work. Yeah, dude. Well, it definitely shows. Again, one of those other teams that only drafted 9 Pokemon, but like, holy fuck, is the 9 that she picked scary. Celesteela is going to be so annoying to get through, and that being the first pick, just kind of sets the tone for like, hey, we're gonna just be annoying with the stuff that we're gonna draft. Um, so Celesteela being like the defensive core, like on the physical and special side, this thing also hits really hard. It's got good HP. The only thing is it's a little slow, but like who cares if it's living against everything and like doing really good damage? Like your defensive walls don't have to be fast. They can be, and that's kind of neat when they are, but they don't have to be. So Celesteela, really cool. Pheasantipity, I think, is going to be a dark horse. I think this thing is going to be cracked, if I'm being honest. Toxic Chain is such a good ability, and only weak to fire and electric. Yeah. Yeah, so really good for your type chart as well, with the Celesteela. Pheasantipity, nuts. I wonder if it's uploaded. It is uploaded here. So Toxic Chain, any of its moves have a chance to toxic a Pokemon. And I think what people have been using is Beat Up, and then you get 6 procs. All healthy allies aid in damaging the target. So you just lead Pheasantipity, click Beat Up, you get 6 chances to badly poison something. I don't know what the math is on that, but it's got to be almost like a guarantee, right? If all 6 hits go off. Like it's 30% every time. So it'd be 30 plus 30 plus 30. But then I don't know how to do that math, but that's like, yeah, if all 6 hits go off, you're getting poisoned, let's be honest. Yeah, absolutely. Really decent move pool beyond that as well. Like it gets Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam, Dual Wing Beat, Gunk Shot, Heat Wave, Hurricane, Poison Jab. Yeah, I think Pheasantipity is going to be really cool. I'm excited to see what this thing, does in the league. I think it's going to be nuts. Mega Gyarados is really cool. It is not a Mega that I ever like think of just because normal Gyarados is so good, but like really cool, strong Mega. Garchomp obviously insane. Gengar gives you some speed and like a really good special attacker, which is really good. Kind of evens out the kind of playing field on both the physical and the special side as far as offense is concerned. Because you've got all these big heavy hitters on the physical side, and then you need like, okay, Celesteela, Gengar, Bellibolt, and Charizard kind of pick up on the special side. All 6 hits is 88% chance to toxic. Thank you, Hoop, for doing the math. And yeah, excited to see Sarah back. I am too. It's been way too long. I think she coming back will maybe surprise some people. And like this team is nuts, so she'll be a contender for sure. Huge Power Azumarill is just really good. It's really good. Belly Drum, Huge Power, Aqua Jet. What more do I need to say? Machamp is cool. I almost drafted Machamp. Um, I think it's going to be a pretty decent, kind of bulky option. It's got a lot of HP, good attack stat, gets access to crit moves that Hoop is kind of going all in on that strategy. So, like, hey, cross chop on Machamp, why not? Good defense on either side. Noah used Machamp a little bit, in previous seasons, and it did pretty well. So I think that's a really cool pick. Belly Bolt is I don't really know what to say about Belly Bolt. I think it's gonna be decent. And she picked Grass and Fairy to go along with the Electric type for Belly Bolt's deal. So like in the type chart, her type chart is so good too. Like the Terra stuff is gonna be even better for her overall kind of team composition. Um, Electric types are good in draft. Volt Switch is a great move. And then the Zard to round things out, like Fire, Dark, and Dragon, super offensive typings. Helps out in some of the Weather War stuff. A teensy bit. Um, we were deciding between Rapidash and Zard. It was a huge pick. Yeah, interesting. I think Charizard's probably better than Rapidash. Definitely more versatile. Yeah, has a better move pool. Like with Rapidash, you're like you have 6 moves that you're gonna pick from. Like not gonna be a super versatile, super surprising in the move sets that you're bringing. Whereas like Charizard gives you a lot of different options, and the Terra Blast from Charizard is probably a much better option too. Um, Yeah, no, I think this team is spooky. I think it's going to be really, really good. You've got the walls and the defense where you need it. A little. It's not even like I was going to say it's a little light on the special defense, but not really. Like all of these are really good stats. Good distribution for speed tiers, so like it's not like not all in one way or the other. Like just a really solid team. I think Sarah drafted it really, really well. Where did I put Sarah? I have her. Oh gosh. I put Sarah at. I put her at 7th. So like upper half of the league. And the reason why I only have her at 7th is that if this team had 10 Mons, I think it'd be number 1 for me. Yeah. I was just about to say that, Noah. I think I put this a little lower on the chart compared to some other ones because it's only got 9 Pokemon and the prep is going to be a little bit easier for it. Like, the teams with 9 Mons, like not having that last piece to worry about or have to think, okay, I'm going to see 6 and there's going to be 3 more still on the bench that I got to worry about. Like just having the difference between 9 and 10 to have to prep for and think about and run calcs for it's a big difference actually. So, um, yeah, I rated it a little lower. Still top half though. And I think Sarah's team is really, really cool. I'm excited for her to be back and to play again. And yeah, I think this is a really dope team, and I'm excited to see what she does for it. Um, so yeah, that's it for this first stream, guys. Um, you know, just kind of wanted to take a look at what was out there for teams and do a little bit of just more casual. Um, if you want to tease the PR, you can show it on the spreadsheet. Okay, okay, okay. Um, here we go, boys and girls. Oh, oh, oh. the first look at the season 11 PR. And like we said before, all over the place with where people voted. I will let Noah talk about these rankings in his video, but Motostoke Magicians, that team, so freaking hard to say, Noah. God, Motostoke Magicians, 25 points in the overall votes, where lower is better. Number 1 ranking for Noah. I sneak in at number 2 with Quincy behind me at 3, Peyton, then Hooper, then Ryan, Weston, Sarah, and then the back half is Idaho's Athol, Rocket at Rockcroft's, Edmonton Ice Cubes, Cleveland Cloisters, Kalamazoo, Pedophiles, the Yankton Yan Megas, and then the Iron Bellators. So really, really cool to see where everybody goes. And like I said, Weston, Stanley Star Raptors, look at this dude. 5th, 15th, 8th, 1st, 9th, 4th, and 12th. All over the place. And that's, pretty much similar across the board with other teams. Like, Measley is also all over the place here. 4th, 1st, 3rd, 9th, 4th, all the way down to 12th, and then up at 1st. Like there's a lot of that going on, to where stuff is all over the place. So it's really cool, to see where everybody fell and who thinks what is good. And it'll be really neat to see kind of the matchup breakdowns and kind of how everybody fits together in this first week. So I guess hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be fun. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be fun. But only time will tell to see who's going to come out on top for season 11. Hopefully they're all really good games and nobody gets blown out super bad. But we'll wait and see. So at this point I'm rambling. It's 11:38. I got a dog to take outside yet. And then I gotta get some sleep. It's been a long day. So thanks everybody for hanging out. This was super fun. We had like 8 or 9 people in here at one point, which is really cool. Lots of good discussion in the chat. 2 hours for a stream. It's more than I've done in a long time. So we'll definitely do another stream later this week to talk about the other teams that we didn't get to. And then first games are going to happen any day. So maybe we'll do like some streams at the end of each week where we watch the games back, just in like the showdown replays. That might be kind of fun. I might do less videos and more streams. And that could be how I go about the content stuff this season. I've got a lot of travel coming up this fall, so like the actual recording of videos might be a little tough, but like popping on for a stream every week, or like, doing video recaps live with chat could be really fun. So, streams accomplish the same thing, but they're less work. Yeah, absolutely. So, and I can do it all from my laptop. So, that might be what we do. I guess stay tuned for more updates, and we'll see. So, it's funny if you guys look. I named this layout on for the stream tonight low effort. So, it's a good indication of where my time skills are at right now. So cool. All right. Thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your night. We will see you soon. To victory, Viridian City.